Hi guys, if you own property in Jamaica, it is a good chance that your land is worth significantly more today than what you had bought it for. Stay with me, I will explain why. So let's start with the basics. The government is updating Jamaica's property valuation rule. And this is important because property taxes in Jamaica are based on the unimproved value of the land. The land itself, not the building on it. So although a property may be going for a certain price in a certain area, the taxes are not calculated based on the price of that property. It is simply on the unimproved value of the land. So having a correct valuation or up-to-date valuation on the land is important for the government and for the homeowner to understand what kind of value or appreciation has taken place on the property. It's important to note that the last time this exercise was done was 2013, and that exercise was significant because the changes or the adoption of the new valuation rate weren't being done until about 2017 because of the resulting questions or outcry that came about after they were announced. As a matter of fact, some properties on the commercial side saw valuations going up by almost 600%. On the lower side, you had it starting as low as 25%. So you can understand why persons were uncomfortable with getting those higher property taxes as a result. It should be noted that the increase in the property tax is not set to the increase in the value of the land. So it's not pound for pound. So if the land value has gone up by 100%, it doesn't mean that the property tax is going to go up by 100% as well. So this is important. So when the revaluation exercise is conducted, the homeowner themselves will have to look at various factors, because if the property is being rented to a tenant, if the property was bought for investment purposes, if the property is being lived on for regular household use, the homeowner now has to make an assessment of what is the cost of owning this property. Is it now that they will have to make adjustments in how to get a return on the investment based on what the property is being used for, which may mean that they may increase the price of the rent for the tenant, passing on that cost to the tenant because of the purpose of which they have the property. If they occupy the land, they now would perhaps might decide to get a new valuation report from a valuator because they want to know what is the true reflection of the change in the value of their property, because they might decide to sell the property if those property taxes are significantly more than what they are prepared or they are able to pay. Or they may simply want to look at a long-term plan for the property to say, all right, now the value is at this amount. What can I consider doing after this? Because key to note, there are different implications when the property rates increase. For instance, if a developer had purchased a land with the expectation of putting a multifamily dwelling on it or an apartment building on it, he may now face new changes in prices, because usually when those valuation rates go up, the cost of some production also goes up. So his financing, his whole budget around developing the land will change. So he will have to revisit his dashboard, his his mapping to the outcome that he wants to get from the property. So what should homeowners do? First, you need to know about your property. Know what it is worth. Don't rely solely on what you paid for it, how much years ago. Understand the current valuation. You can reach out to the NLA for information on how did they derive the value at which was assigned to the property, the past, the ownership of the land, the use of the land. All of that information can be provided to you. Pay attention to when the new valuation information becomes available. You don't have to wait until you get that property tax payment notification in the mail. You can go on the tax admin website, put in your valuation number, your volume and folio, and you can see what your property tax amount will be. But you can reach out to NLA before and get your assigned valued amount. And don't wait for that bill to hit you. Try and be proactive in order to understand what's the direction of the area that you're in, the neighborhood that you're in, so you can make decisions even before everything comes into effect. And in closing, it is important as homeowners to be aware of the changes in the area, changes in the circumstance surrounding to the cost of owning the property. We buy real estate to get an appreciation. We buy real estate to get a return on the investment. We want to ensure that any development, any changes, we are in the know on it. And as all times you want to be getting that information firsthand and not, through some source that may be giving you incorrect information. The more valuable the asset becomes, the more it is important for you to understand the holding cost of it. Decisions can be made around perhaps selling that property, cashing in on the gains, and purchasing something else in a more upcoming space that is not yet at that peak point. So understanding the market, what is the property worth, and what will it cost me to own it? These are some important questions that you should answer. And as usual, I am here to assist in all your property ventures. You can reach out to me at any point, send me a DM or email montagueproperties@gmail.com, and we can have a conversation about it. And because understanding both sides of the equation make you a smarter homeowner. So this has been episode 5. Thanks for watching, and please share the video with somebody who may own a home, who may not be aware of the changes in the Jamaican market, and may need some insight as to how the property tax calculation and what is to be expected is understood. All right. So if you like it, like it. And until next time, take care.